welcome back to my channel. Today what we're going to be talking about is 15 tips for the new music teacher. So I've been doing some research with us getting closer to school, very close for me. I know other people still have about a month or so, but I just wanted to put this video out there because I don't feel like there's really that much representation for music teachers out there. There's plenty of new teacher tips that we can use, but I'm going to throw in just a little bit of a music spin for those music teachers that are getting ready to start their first year, which is so exciting. Tip number 1 would be that relationships and classroom management come first. I know as a new music teacher, you just want to teach the world to sing and just love music so much and have all these wonderful performance opportunities. But the thing is, if you don't have those relationships set in place, you don't have that classroom management, no music learning will happen. And that's really just with any type of teaching. You have to have those set. So a big mistake that I made as a first year teacher is that I pushed past those things. I pushed past it. I tried to ignore it. I tried to sweep it under the rug. Those managements that started to come out, or behaviors that started to come out, and because of the result of it, I thought to myself that I was getting at least the music learning across, but little did I know I was not at all because I did not stop to take the time. So don't feel like I felt like I was on this music timer, like my principal was going to come in at any moment and be like, oh, you're not working on music stuff, and you're working on lining up and procedures. And kids really do need that time in order to know what's expected of them. So take the time in the beginning to walk them through what you expect, your expectations, practice procedures, and don't feel sad or like anxious about it, because the music learning will happen. Because once you have that under control, then there's nothing stopping you, and those kids will pick things up so quick. 2, don't break the bank for your classroom. I know it is so hard you see all these teacher halls, you see all these decked out classrooms, but it will come with time. So buy a few essentials, buy a few things that make you excited. If you are like me and you love cutesy things, buy a few cutesy things, but you really don't need to break your bank. You're just starting out and you will accumulate things so quickly. My room, I will insert a picture of when I moved classrooms this last time and the amount of stuff that I had. I mean, obviously a music teacher has a lot of stuff. We have instruments, manipulatives, worksheets, toys, stuffed animals. We use all kinds of stuff, which is awesome and so fun, but you're gonna accumulate stuff and it's gonna get overwhelming. So when you first start out, don't sweat it. Just start with what you have and build from the years and years and years. And then you'll be trying to get rid of stuff instead of getting stuff. 3, have your rules and procedures in place before you start teaching. I know that sounds so like doy, that makes so much sense, but really have a strong, firm belief in them. Really hold firm to them. So don't let things slide, and you don't have to get upset. You don't have to yell. All you need to simply do is stop the class and redo it. That is exactly my plan this year and every year, is to start out and stay very firm in what my expectations are. And I just do a simple, that wasn't it. Oh, could anyone tell us how we could have done that better? And we redo it. And then I talk about if we don't want to have to redo making the circle, or we don't want to take the time to line up again, then we need to do it the first time. 4, making a circle is harder than you think. As a music teacher, you want to incorporate movement, right? And you want your kids to get up and do rather than just talk. And so a lot of times there are many circle games and circle folk songs. And making a circle, it surprised me so much as a first year teacher, because I had no idea how hard it was going to be. So, you can't just say, okay, kids, let's make a circle. You'll have kids clear out to the side of the classroom. You'll have kids that are in the middle. You'll have us form a semicircle or something that looks like a bean, and then all the kids will talk about how it's not a circle. And so don't do that, okay? Learn from this and don't do that your first year. Second thing I tried is the follow me. So when kids get up, I say, follow me to make a circle, and they just start following, and we start forming a line, and I just walk in a big round circle around the room, and the kids slowly start to make that circle. That was almost it, but I had a lot of pushing, a lot of shoving, kids wanting to be always first, because that's just such a human instinct. So my last thing that I've been doing, and it has been working out really well, is however your seating arrangement is, you have an order that the kids follow you in every single time. So I have these little sit spots on my classroom. I have them by different colors. And so what the kids will do is when I say we're going to make a circle, all of the red circle dot friends will stand up. They will follow me in order first, and I have an exact order. It's Sally, then it's Ben, then it's so-and-so, and then orange, and then yellow, and then green, and then blue. And we slowly start to make that circle, and everyone knows where they're supposed to go. There's no pushing or shoving and all of that. So it's just something, because that's something that like seriously has stuck with me for years, is I just could not believe that it was so hard to get kids in a circle formation. 5, kids need a lot of trust and encouragement to sing. I thought when I was coming into this classroom that singing wouldn't be a big deal and that I would just say, okay, we're gonna sing this, and we would sing it. And unfortunately, there's a lot, I think, of society, a lot of emotion that goes, it's very personal, that goes in with singing. And there can be emotional scars that kids have already had, even that they are told they're not a good singer. So it takes a lot of time building relationships for kids to be confident enough or think it's a safe place in order to sing. So my biggest thing to encourage them is to definitely, I will not even say it really in front of the class. What I will do is I will kind of come over and just have a little conversation like, oh man, I was listening in, your voice kind of stuck out to me, it sounded really good. So I'll do that kind of personally. A lot of times as a group, I will talk about, how much better it is. And I really will ask, even if a kid does not want to sing or isn't comfortable, a lot of times I will tell them at least whisper it. At least mouth the words. You're gonna get there, and all I ask is that you trust and you try. And so far, I have some kids that still do not want to sing, and it's a very interesting thing. But I'm slowly and surely, as the years have gone on being at this school, a lot more of them are, and they at least try. They at least give me a little something to work with. So it won't be perfect, and that's okay. That's a kind of a normal thing, unfortunately, and that's our job as music educators to, help encourage and foster that courage to sing and to enjoy it, because it really is amazing, and we know that because we're all music educators. 7, go to your local Kodály and ORF chapter workshops. This has been the biggest game changer for me keeping things fresh. So, you are in college, you come out of college, and you have this whole database of stuff that you learned there. And it's awesome. But sometimes when you transfer it to the classroom, because you're in this kind of, controlled environment, sometimes it doesn't work. I took a lot of my lesson plans that I, wrote in college and tried to apply them in the classroom. They didn't quite fit the bill. They weren't, because I hadn't worked with kids, on such a big basis. When I taught high school and middle school orchestra, and I taught 5th and 6th grade general music. So I didn't have the babies, and so I didn't really know exactly what was going to work for them. I could kind of guess, I could kind of read books about it, but once I was actually in the classroom, then I realized some of the stuff that I planned was not going to work. So when you go to these Kodály and ORF chapter workshops, you get fresh new ideas that you can bring back to your classroom like the next week. And it's amazing, because I don't know how many hours I was at school till like 7 o'clock at night Pinteresting ideas, because I had no idea what to do with my class the next day. So definitely take those, because that's just easy, tried and true. Like, these are presenters that present at these workshops that, they're well known for a reason. It's because they're such great educators and they have really good ideas. 8, talk less, do more. I was gonna try and sing it in a Hamilton way, but I can't. Talk less, do more. Dun, 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 dun. I think I sang it wrong. Whatever. Seriously though, talk less, because you as an educator will feel so much better, because you're not just exhausted from talking so much during the day. And then second, your kids will love you more because they get to do more. Kids learn by doing. Kids learn by applying. And so yes, there is that time where you need to be at the board and you need to talk things through, but myself and my kids are so much happier when I talk less and I let them do more. 9, talk to other teachers. I know it's so easy to just kind of get in your little bubble, get in your little classroom. You don't have another music teacher at your school. Sometimes you do, maybe you have one other person, but it's so easy to get isolated. So talk to other teachers, talk to them. They can still help you with behavior. They may not know exactly what you're doing in the classroom, but they can still be of great help. They're also, go sit with a first grade team at lunch. Just, hey, how you doing? Can I join you today? Because it's going to help you immensely. If you build community within those teachers, you're going to feel better when you go to work because you're not going to feel as alone, because we are kind of an isolated group. The specials, we're the only one that does that subject area. So sometimes it can kind of feel lonely. And so I really encourage you, as scary as it can be sometimes, is to really get out there when you are, starting at your first school. Introduce yourself to all the teachers. Talk to them if you had an issue with their class. Sometimes I would just be like, yeah, it was fine. And then, because I was afraid that they thought that I didn't know what I was doing. But now looking back, all first year teachers don't know what they're doing. So you might as well just tell them what happened and they can help you figure out how to handle it. Because I had such an insecurity of if I told them that we did have an issue in class, then I was a bad educator. And I don't know why I put that pressure on myself. You're not going to be good your first year, so talk to them. They can help you. And then also socially talk to other teachers, because you want to build a community for yourself. You need adult friends too. 10. Have fun and let go of perfection. When I came into the music classroom, I thought that I was going to have my kids singing in 2-part harmony. I thought my kids were going to do these 4-part xylophone arrangements. I had some big ideas, and not that my kids can't handle it, because my kids are actually really musically talented. So many of them take private lessons, and that's a whole nother challenge because I got to play to them and I got to play to my students that don't really have music at home. So, but just let go of that perfection. Let go of your expectations. Get in there, find your community, see what, talking with my hands a lot, get in there, talk to them, figure out kind of what is the music level already, what kind of music exposure do these kids have, and then work with it. There's nobody breathing down your neck saying you have to be perfect. There's nobody breathing down I don't see, your 4-part chorus happening. They, people don't know. They just want to see kids enjoying music, going up there doing performances, looking cute. Of course, have high expectations, but don't put so much pressure on yourself that it has to be perfect. 11. Organize, organize, organize. Like I said before, as a music teacher, you're going to accumulate so much stuff. I've got stuffed animals. I've got instruments. I've got string. I've got craft stuff. I've got all kinds of things, because music is just so cool in that it can touch so many different areas, different history, different art connections, and so you're going to accumulate a lot of stuff. So have some type of organization, whether that's a bin that you just write on there, 1st grade, 2nd grade, 3rd grade, and you just start, as you slowly start to make things, as you slowly start to use things, you put it in those bins. Or you do it by month. You're like, all this month, anything that I make or use or accumulate or buy, I'm going to put in this September bin. Okay. Papers, have that copy file, Can't remember the other one. I don't know, copies, but have some kind of paper storage too. Really, there's no right or wrong in this, but just have some kind of system. All right, 12. Names are power. I know, it's extremely difficult. You have, how many? I think I have about 650 students that I teach every year. And that can be so completely overwhelming, especially as a first year teacher, to try and remember so many names. So take it little by little, have grace for yourself, but really, really take a point to try and learn all the names, because names are power. If you have a kid across the classroom that, needs to be corrected, and you have to go, oh, you point, or blue shirt, it's not going to be as effective. And so you need to know people's names to really quickly have those corrections and get kids back on track. But even more importantly than that, if you know a kid's name, they instantly connect and respect you more. I have had a scene where I have forgotten kids' names and I see, you know, the sadness or, oh, she doesn't care. And it is, I know, it's tough. It's super tough to remember all these names, and I am horrible at names. But really, really make a point to learn all of them as much as you can, as fast as you can, because your kids are going to respect you more, and you're going to help build that connection with them just that much faster. 13. Be patient. Your kids are going to love you. Your teachers are going to love you. The parents are going to love you. The community is going to love you. They just need to get to know you. Sometimes you're running into a situation where the teacher there before was amazing and had all these crazy programs, and you feel like, oh, I have big shoes to fill, but be yourself. You know, do what is great for you. Example is the teacher that I came after. She was a big choir. She went on to be a middle school music director or a choir director. And I felt like I had to have this big choir. And choir, as much as I love it, it's not like my super passion. And so I still have a choir. I still do my best to teach it, and I think it's so important. But now I'm bringing in ukulele that I'm very passionate about, and I'm slowly starting to add in things that are my own. And so I would just say be patient. Or you have the opposite. You have a teacher that maybe had a little tricky. They weren't the right fit for the school. And so just, you know, research, talk to people, find out what they like, but also be true to yourself and just give it time. Give it time, because they will get used to you, and if you're doing your job effectively, they're gonna love you. 14. Whew, we're almost there. You are not alone in this music teacher community. There are so many ways that you can reach out to fellow music educators through Facebook groups, through Instagram, through other schools in your district. There are just so many different ways through music education blogs that you can connect and learn from other music educators. So I would say really start to get out there. Start looking through your social media, because I don't know how many times I went to Mrs. Miracle's Music Room, Amy Abbott's page, Pitch Publications. There are a few bloggers that really, I just took all of the lessons that they shared and did the first year. Because, you know, don't try and reinvent the wheel when you are a first year teacher. Take other people's ideas, try them out. You know, don't take that time to like, oh my goodness, create something from scratch. Right now, just try out a bit of different ideas and see what works for you. So get out there, get that searching going, because you're going to find some great ideas, and there's so many out there. So check out Instagram, Facebook, little different blogs. If you just put music education blogs in Google, there are so many different things that you guys can be looking out for. Last one, 15. Take care of yourself. Take care of yourself. If you are not going to be able to show up for your first year. First year is tough. It's very tough, but it's so rewarding and it's so exciting, and I loved my first year. But you need to take care of yourself, and that's sometimes what people lose sight of a little bit, because they're just so overwhelmed. There's so much to learn. Take it day by day. You know, go home at 4, maybe 5. If you feel like you really need to stay. But I would stay a lot of times till 7 or 8 o'clock at night, most days my first year. And, you know, if that happens to you, you have grace for yourself. Understand that, you know, you're learning, but at the same time, you're going to get burnt out real quick. So go home, work on some stuff at home if you have to, you know, work out, eat healthy, you know, do fun things with your friends. Don't put everything, your whole identity into teaching. Because when you do, you do get really burnt out. You get these feelings of overwhelm. You know, you're tired. And so the biggest thing is, like, teaching takes a lot of energy. You have to be energetic for those kids. You gotta, you know, talk all the time. You gotta be thinking creative ideas and how to effectively get your lesson plans across and have the kids engaged and loving it. So take the time. It's not selfish at all to take care of yourself and rest up. Woo! All right, you guys, that is it. 15, I'm not going to do it, my hand gestures, but I loved it. 15 tips for the new music teacher. I hope you'd enjoyed that. And I will see you guys in the next one. If you would like, put a comment below what you would tell a new music teacher if you are one out there. I'm sure I missed so many different things, and I would love to hear what your advice would be. All right, guys. See ya.